oh my God, it's going to be very expensive to license a science fiction book, whereas it was really simple and not really as complex as licensing a film. And we have many options, because at the moment there's tons of content that wants to move into games to help them promote the IP. So as a result, a quick summary, using IP and licensing IP right now is feasible, profitable, and saves you time and gives you a better profit margin. So we stand at the moment a chance to use IP to leverage the international potential. That's it.
Any comments? You're up, Alex.
Actually, I still think that it's much better to build your own, but it's a long topic to discuss.
If you're a developer, then yeah, sure, but if you're a publisher, we cannot control creative minds.
I made a comment on that. I'll say that every developer and every television studio that I work with and every filmmaker that I work with thinks that they have the ability to develop their own IP. But they find that working on somebody else's IP is often the way that they can get paid, and it's very hard to break out from the clutter of new IPs as opposed to taking an IP that is already known. On the other hand, when you do get to a place where your new IP becomes successful, then you're in a great place. But it's not so easy to sell a new IP in any entertainment market, in my experience.
But if it goes back, if it goes to online, IPs start being very, very important, since it's not one product business. So not just ship the product and forget about it. It's a service which you built for 10 years, and within these 10 years, you spend millions and millions of dollars into marketing. And if it's not your IP, you're basically spending these dollars to promote somebody else. It's as simple as that. So you're in servicing your development costs and your marketing and building costs. So the development costs are much smaller portion of the overall equation, and your marketing costs and servicing costs are much, much higher. So, for example, for a big, I would say, big online game, Russia, you spend, say, $10 million in development, and then you can potentially spend $50 million for the next 10 years on servicing, including marketing. Why would you not spend more money to develop your own IP and then push it and own it and use it for further, and then license it for films, for books, for anything? That's a much healthier strategy. However, if you're much more short-term focused, then yes, you can license it.
Any idea about social games?
For social games, where life cycle is much smaller, I think licensing IP could be very good. And especially if it's the similar audience. So, and it's not well spread yet, but we're looking forward into it because I think using famous brand which are good for the casual audience, which is already on Facebook, should be very, very good. Like Park, whatever.
Actually, just want to add what Sergei Klimov said. Like 4 years ago, when we first were looking to the idea of licensing and foreign international IP, I was really shocked how easy it was, and that the price wasn't high. It's really okay, because as people there want to earn money, and depending on your territory, depending on your product, the price will be really low. So it's easy way to try to find something which suits you.
Yeah, but keep in mind that you then spend a certain amount of your revenue stream.
Yeah.
And these could be very expensive, and so you should be very careful. So because, especially in servicing, your margins are not pretty limited. So if you give away another 5 to 10% to somebody else, it could be tough.
Yeah, you can lose it sometimes. So yeah, it's where are pros and where are cons for this question.
Давайте послушаем Алекса.
Спасибо. Перейду сразу на английский. Hi all, my name is Alex Ruzhantsev. I'm Vice President of Business Development at Novidisk Company. I'd like to discuss today how Novidisk builds successful relationships with Western partners. Novidisk as a company has been very successful during recent years, and here are some, I'd like to share some statistics and numbers with you that demonstrate that. Over the last 6 years or so, Novidisk grew its market share by over 2.5 times, and currently we estimate our market share to be over 25%, which places us right at number 2 after 1C Soft Club. We also grew our revenue during the same period by over 15 times, and managed to keep the profitability high at about 35%. We also raised the first round of financing in June 2008, and our valuation during this round was, I'd just like to give you a couple examples of other deals with well-known global publishers. Midway Incorporated was sold to Warner Brothers in July 2009 for $33 million. So Novidisk's valuation was significantly higher than that. And it was comparable to another deal that happened in March 2009. It was the sale of IDIS to Square Enix. We know that this success relied on a number of things, but one of the contributors was our ability to build successful and lasting relationships with international partners, and I'd like to talk more about this particular aspect of our company and to share with you the experiences that we gained and the lessons we learned that you may find useful when trying to build your relationships with Western partners. Around 2003, Novidisk decided to expand rapidly into the PC games business. Despite the strong competition at that time, there were already 4 key players in the market: 1C, Buka, Kel, and Rusabit, and Novidisk was behind all of these players. What we did early, we started to focus on building relationships with Western developers and publishers and bring their games to Russian market. Whereas some other players, our competitors, they focused more on developing, financing their own productions. So thanks to this special focus on us throwing all our efforts into this area, we signed over 1,300 PC products with over 200 partners between 2004 and 2009, and about 150 of these partners were new partners. And then these products generated over 200 million in sales in Russian-speaking markets, and probably will generate about another 100 million in sales by the time they'll ship. At the moment, quite a few of these products are not released yet. They're due to release later this year or next year.